Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Happy New Year and welcome to Journal in January. Now this is the first episode of a month-long special where we're going to build a journal. Last year I was lucky enough to go to Create, which is an Anna Griffin event in Atlanta in the US, and I took lots of photographs. Not quite as many as my husband, but I did take lots of photographs, and I wanted to build a journal to show you that it's easy to do, it will capture your memories and it'll tell a story as we go along. Now episode 1, which is this one today, 1st of January, I'm going to show you lots of the different things we're going to use to build our journal. So today's kind of like an introduction to all the items that you can use. You can use more. I mean, we've all got craft rooms full of items, and I think it's great to be able to tell a story with the photos that you take. Now today's kind of like a sit back, watch and listen. We're not going to demonstrate anything today. I'm not going to show you how to make anything today. And then tomorrow will be all about the prep for the journal. So that's getting it ready for us to be able to create a page a day. When I say a page a day, it's actually going to be 2 pages, if not more. But I wanted to run through lots of the items that we're going to incorporate in our journal, and then kind of explain that you don't have to use photos. Maybe you collect postcards, maybe you take photos of food you create, maybe you just have recipes. Maybe it would be great to make a recipe book from the photos that you've taken of things you've made, and then you include a recipe. Or maybe you're a gardener, maybe you have grandkids, maybe you have pets. You can create a journal out of anything. It doesn't have to be a diary kind of journal, and this is I would say a cross between a scrapbook and a journal. So we're going to tell a story as we go. Now this show, I was going to say, this month-long special might not be your cup of tea, because I'm going to be talking about things that I've done with the photos that I have. And I know so many of you are very interested, and some of you might not be. So you might just want to stick to the projects. That's absolutely fine. Well, projects will still carry on Fridays and Mondays with lots of Anna Griffin goodies. However, the journaling, I just want to kind of build up a memory and a story for myself, but I want to share it with you. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to run through some of the items we're going to use. We're going to probably use a lot more as we go along. And for each episode, I will put a list on my blog. However, I will build the list as we go. So it won't be a full list each day. It'll be a list each day of the items we've used type of thing. And then at the end, we'll have built a very long list of everything. So I'm going to incorporate lots of different companies as well. It isn't just sticking to Anna Griffin products, because like you, I have a craft room full of other stuff as well. And I just want to kind of show how they will all work together. They will predominantly probably be Anna products, because obviously Create was such a big thing and part of my life is to use Anna products. But I wanted to be able to do something that will show you that you can use other things. It's not against the law, and Anna appreciates that people have lots of other products. So the first thing and most important is the photos. Now I'm not going to run through the photos with you, because I wouldn't put anybody through that. You will get to see them as we go along. Now, some of my photos aren't the most, exciting in the world, but they're going to tell a story. And as we go along through the month, you'll find that the story will all come together in the end. I mean, this photo, a set of locks, you're thinking, Anne-Marie's kind of lost the plot here. But this is preparation to go before the event. And it all worked out well. Now what I've done is just to give you a glimpse behind the scenes here, because it takes quite a lot of planning to do something that's a month long. So I have photos, 46 photos roughly, and I have a calendar, and every photo is numbered, so I know what pages they're going to go with. So that's kind of like some of the prep that goes behind the scenes to make sure that it's going to work to show you. Now we're going to use mats and layers. Obviously the mascara roses are just so beautiful that I wanted to incorporate them. We're going to incorporate flowers through as many pages as we can. So we're going to use mats and layers. We don't have to use full layers. We can be economical with them if you want. We can use them from our scrap boxes. We don't have to use Anna papers. I'm probably going to use more Anna papers than anything else. So the journal that I've picked is from a company that it's called Paper Chase. Now I've got to admit I wanted a plain journal and I wanted it the craft colour because I just think there's something special about this. Now the journal I picked up, there's not many items I've purchased to do this, but this is one of the purchases that I've made. It was very, very cheap on a large auction site, and I think there was 120 pages in it. Now we're not going to use all 120 pages, so I've started by taking some of them out. We'll cover this in the next episode, which is the prep. But the journal, you get a pocket in it at the back, and it was great value. So you might just have a normal ruled notebook. That would work fine, because the weight that we're going to add with the layers will add the extra weight to the pages if it's just a normal lined book that you can get for, I don't know, $1, 50 pence down at the supermarket, etc. But I've gone for a spiral hardbacked craft book. This cost me less than £4, so it was very worth it. So we're going to use lots of stamped images. I've stamped a few sheets ready, and you'll be able to spot some of your favourite brands on there. And I've just randomly stamped them to be able to add journaling to some of them. We can die cut others, we can tear them, we can rip them, we can ink them. We can do so many different things. Now one thing I did have to purchase because I didn't have them, I wanted some days of the week, because Create was Thursday to Sunday. My week starts on the Tuesday, because we set off early to be able to fly over, etc. So I've stamped lots of different bits and bobs. We're going to probably use a lot more as we go as well. Now I've also die cut frames, etc. They will go with our layers. We're going to use washi tape. Now this is one of the other things that I've had to purchase because I didn't have a lot of washi tape. This is my entire collection. And I wanted washi tape for a certain part of the prep that we're going to use tomorrow. So I've purchased some, the flying ones, the map ones, etc. Again from that very large auction site. I've also purchased some special ribbon because, as many of you know, my husband went to Create as well. And while we were doing our crafty thing, my husband went out and about. And one of the things that he did, he went to the Walking Dead studios. And this is Walking Dead ribbon. So I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to incorporate that into a couple of photos because we can't miss him out the journal. So we've got a couple of photos of him that we're going to include. Now we're also going to use bits and bobs that we've picked up along the way. So while I was there, receipts, postcards, etc. I was given some gorgeous postcards from Yadra, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Yadra, that runs the group for the Friends of Anna Griffin. Thank you so much, because these are going to fit so well into our journal, because we flew from Manchester, UK to New York, and then we got a domestic flight down to Atlanta. We didn't have time to go out and about in New York, but you'll see from some of the photos, I think I've picked up Manhattan Island, which I was very pleased about. So the postcards will fit right in to our journal. Now, something else that I've done is, from some of the bits and bobs, I've taken a couple of photocopies of things. Now, obviously, we can't photocopy designs, we can't photocopy papers because of copyright restrictions. However, I have been able to photocopy the lanyard that I wore at Create, and we'll be able to cut these out and add them to our journal. I've also photocopied some of the things from the plane, and we've got some boarding passes. Now, obviously, I've got his and hers, so we've got the passes that was on the suitcases. For anybody who remembers, the key fob from the Grand Hyatt. Again, just bits and pieces, boarding passes, because I've got the New York to Atlanta and the Manchester and home, etc. So now, as you're looking at them, you're thinking, that's quite boring. Well, maybe journaling, like we've said, isn't quite for you. However, once we start building everything up, you'll see it come together and it will tell the story of my journey. We're going to use die cuts as well. These are going to feature tomorrow, some of the tassels and some ribbon. And we're also going to use stickers, stamps, etc. Xyron will feature a lot in our journal. So we've got stickers from Anna's card making kit, and we've also got lots of flowers from the painted garden kit, and we're just going to have fun. We're going to build a memory that I can share with you and share the journey of Create. And I'm just hoping, oops, not the camera, I'm just hoping you're going to tune in and follow our journaling progress throughout January. And I hope it will feature techniques and ideas that you think, you know what, I could give that a go. It's not as difficult as it looks. So I'm hoping, again, that everything I use, it will give you inspiration for what you have in your own stash. To be able to think, oh, you know what, I could tweak that, or I could do it with that photo of the rose bush, or I could do a full garden plan. Because when you're journaling, anything goes. You can add whatever you like. It's your creation, they're your memories. And even if you think your handwriting is the worst handwriting in the world, it's your handwriting and it doesn't matter because you're telling the story. So hopefully that's given you a little insight into a few of the things that we're going to use. Now, tomorrow is journal prep. So that's the 2nd of January. So we're going to sort out our journal to be able to begin using it. So we're going to make the front cover, and we're going to add bookmark ties, and we're just going to add some dividers. So hopefully you will tune in tomorrow, and I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and this is going to be an incredible journey in January. So I shall see you for episode 2 tomorrow.